G'day, today we're going to have a look at a new game that has just come out. I guess we can say we're on version 1.0. This is Let Them Trade. Let's jump on in. Good, there's a tutorial. Let's find out what this one's all about. Okay, greetings. Welcome to Let Them Trade. I am the king, your monarch and sovereign. This clever little fellow on my shoulder is my most trusted advisor, Mr. Nuts. Yeah, Mr. Nuts. Mr. Nuts. Squeak, squeak, squeak. Well said, Mr. Nuts. Yes, I have big plans to grow economy in my domain, but I can't oversee everything personally. Feasts and balls are just so time intensive that I hardly find the time to do much else. That's why I'm looking for someone who is as hardworking as I am. You look like the right person. Let's learn how to play. Okay, up in the top right of the screen, you'll see the current main quest, top right, side, and milestones. You will be rewarded handsomely for completing these tasks I set you. It's optional, must be completed obviously. Firstly, let's learn how to move the camera. Okay, move back forwards. Right, cool. Pan and up, down, cool. Rotate and with the middle mouse, cool. Zooming out. Okay, R and P to rotate. A reset position. Cities are founded by first placing a city center. Select the city center in the basics tab of the menu button and place it on the highlighted section. So in the basics menu, city center. Got it. Build a new city for potatoes. Wait for the construction to finish. The hotkeys to speed them up. F2. F3. Now that you've founded a new city, you can place production and residential buildings on neighboring tiles. Start by placing 2 potato farms on green fertile soil and 2 peasant homes. You may hold left shift to press multiple buildings. Okay, so we want peasants, potato farm, shift, press, peasant homes, shift, press. F3 to speed things up. Alright, did you see the little guys with the carts transporting resources to the building site just then? Those are the city transporters. All resources must be transported from where they're produced to where they're constructed, and the transporters are responsible for doing that in the city. When you are about to place a building, you will see arrows which indicate the distance which will need to be traveled by transporters. A city only has a limited amount of transporters, which means that the bigger the city gets, the farther the transporters will need to travel, and the more difficult it'll be for them to keep up. Alright, makes sense. Target tile scouted. You may have noticed that there are some grey unexplored tiles northeast of the castle on the top left. You can see the UI when your knights are listed, top left. Click on the scout icon and select scouting flag, then click on the tile next to the unexplored tiles to have automatically reveal them. Okay. So I'm only allowed to Harlech, so I click on that and then I click on that. No, I click on that and then I click on... No, I click on that and then I click on... Scout mode, and we want them to go there. Although, did they say there? Alright. Find out if we've ruined Sir Harlech's life. Here's a scouts from afar. Great, you found a forest tile. Let's found a new city next to the forest tile. So we need to go back to that. Basics, city center. Let's go this side. Lumberjack. Peasant home. Okay, so we want peasants. We want the lumberjack. We build that on the tile. And we build a peasant home. They can have a nice river view. Alright, thank you, Sir Harlick. Can I rename my cities? Enter a new name. Cool. Not that I want to, I was just curious if I could. Inhabitants have needs and wants, and this is reflected in the resources they consume. If the inhabitants' needs are met, they will remain in the city, but if not, they'll become unhappy and move out. It may even take a while for a new inhabitant to move in again, meaning that the city will have a smaller workforce available in the meantime. Resources are broken up into two groups: basic and luxury. Basic resources are the more important, and if these are missing, then inhabitants will be very unhappy. Both resources are provided, and inhabitants will no longer move out and will fill all slots of the residential buildings, meaning the city has full workforce available. Luxury resources provide extra happiness, but are not enough if the basics are missing. Besides making sure that the inhabitants don't move out, happiness is also important because inhabitants provide money to the city depending on their happiness. The happier the population, the more money a city will have to trade and purchase goods. Connect all your cities. Now that you have two cities, they'll begin to trade with one another. However, traders will not move very quickly over normal tiles. You can speed them up to make the economy more efficient by connecting castles and all the cities with roads. Okay, so if we go basics, road, and we want to go from here to there. Each city has its own budget, which will be spent on buying resources from other cities. It will also sell resources which it overproduces. Therefore, the prices of resources in the economy are determined by the supply and demand. Managing the production and flow of resources in the economy, and therefore indirectly managing the prices, is vital for success. This is because on every trade, you levy a trade tax of 25% on both cities. This is your primary source of income. Try to build an economy where cities are specialized and must import many resources from one another, but beware of monopolies as they may drive up prices and make an economy inefficient. If this works in a logical way, this is crazy. You can see the market price of a resource in the global resource overview in the top left of the screen. If you click on a resource in the global resource overview, then you will switch to the focus mode. Here's lots of additional information will be available, including global production and consumption for that resource, as well as displaying which cities are trading and with whom. In our little economy here, the first city will produce potatoes and buy wood, and the second city will produce wood and buy potatoes. Let's watch it in action. And we also want to build that road that way too. So watching potatoes go one way, would go the other way. But obviously it means that in a longer run, that would be a monopoly for both, so we would want at least two other cities each doing that, so there's healthy competition. As mentioned before, transporters move resources inside a city, while traders move resources between cities. A city only has limited amount of either of these, meaning that they can get overloaded if a lot must be moved at once. Cities can be upgraded, increasing the number of traders and transporters they have at their disposal. City upgrades can be applied at any time, provided you have the required coins and resources. Let's try it out. Select one of the cities, and then in the main tab, click the up arrow. So let's go for Netherford. And we will go the up arrow. Can we afford it for Brimford too? Let's let both of them get upgraded. Can we do it for our castle? No. Very good work. You have finished the first part of the tutorial. In part 2, you'll learn about researching more advanced buildings as well as upgrades and modifications. I could find that out when I get to the second part. Scenario complete. Alright, greetings to your subject. After such good showing last time, I've decided that you have promised to teach you another thing about the two. Yeah, okay, so let's try and just do this quicker. Birthday party presentations, unintended consequences, that's not important. Give us the instruction. Connect all your cities with roads. Okay, so we want to go, bridges exist, so we go bridge, basics, basics, not the bridge, basics the road, that to there. That to there. Sawmill researched. Make a sawmill. Open the research tree, top left corner of the screen, and click on the sawmill. Research tree in the top left, that's that one. Select the sawmill. ticking along at the top here. Done. Great. Sawmills build. Place it down near one of your cities. Besides researching new buildings, also possibly to research new upgrades. Once unlocked, these will allow you to select. Let's try it out. One of the lumberjacks, research tree, select level 2. Okay, so if we go in and lumberjack, we want to go level 2. Is that saying it's going or it's pausing? What are we waiting for? There we go. That must be supplies to it or something? I don't know. I've skipped a lot of things to try and speed up. Love to have a look at the first level, but I do want to make sure I'm understanding these. Okay. Upgrading the lumberjack will increase the output by a good amount. Sure. Lumberjacks upgraded. Upgrade a lumberjack to level 2. So that's a lumberjack. No, it's a potato farm. Was our lumberjack that guy? Upgrade. Great. Activate forester in the lumberjack. So if we go to this guy and we can say forester. Very good. Not least for today, let's look at buying resources at your castle. The resources tab of the castle UA, you can set target storage and then set the auto buy. Okay. So if we go to this and we go to resources, we can set we can adjust that to 60. And then I guess we can see if they continue to buy, sell it to. So if we say buy it, so that's cool that the trade is just my own little cities in there. Second part of the tutorial done. Alright, cool. We can definitely move this with a bit more pace, based on the speed of that one. Okay, occasional problems with bandits. Alright, today we're learning how to train retinue? Equip the knight. Finally, kick Big Bad Bob's butt. Castle tab, build menu, light barracks. Okay, so we want to go to here and we want light barracks. Light barracks unlocked. Light barracks built. So, built to the side of the castle. Light retinue produced at the castle. Alright, at the light barracks train. Light barracks, we make it 30? Why'd they drag that to 30? We scroll down. Done. Light retinue equipped. Okay, so adding light retinue on the night UA at the bottom of the screen. Okay. Oh look, Bidbo is making it for the trade route guard. mode on the night UI and stand by it. So, and slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Let's go all the way to pause. Where's our guard mode? Set the knights to guard mode. Big bad, big bad, Bob. His camp destroyed. So let's go. I essentially tell him to go guard over there, and then just that'll do the job. Unclear to tell who's winning. Okay, there we go. 6-1. It's not sort of like percentages at all. It's just sort of like the fight goes back and forth till one wins. What you get for disturbing the trade. Good work. Finish. Alright, so now we can sort of jump into our branching out. Let's have a look at what the actual game looks like. Okay. We need to spruce up the kingdom's wood production, and this forest seems like a fine area. That is a lot of wood production. Okay. What would you like? City centers built, peasant home built, lumberjack built, potato farm built. Alright, so we'll go basic. We will have a city center here. To give them a little bit of space, we'll put a city center there. The peasants, we will get a lumberjack in here and a lumberjack in here. We will then put a sawmill in there. We'll put a potato farm here and there, and then peasant homes there and there and there and there. And then we will take a road and we'll run it from here to there and there to there. We can speed things up because we've got everything else already on the way. Okay. Fine work. Look at all those little settlements. How quaint. But fine words doth butter no part, blah blah blah. I've allotted you more land to develop, and now it's time to get real serious. Alright, so we require 16 peasants and 4 city centers. That's an optional one. Okay, so I feel like we've got stone down here, so I assume that eventually, if we're going to have a city center, we probably want it down there. And if our primary focus is going to be that we need lumber, let's chuck another city center this way. So we're going to go peasants, peasants. I'm going to give them a... Oh, right, I was going to give them potato farm. I'll give these guys potato farm. Those guys can have a potato farm too, to sort of have the potato farm market not cornered. For that, and a sawmill. And how many peasant houses did I build down here? That was 2, right? No, that's a potato farm. So let's go there. And then we'll build a road from here to there. And we'll build a road from here to there. It's neat that it can go through the forest. Okay. Alright, let's build more lumberjacks and try upgrading the existing ones. Okay, so we go in here and we say upgrade the lumberjacks. Also just curious, can I build it? I can build those roads anywhere, so I want to build a bridge that goes like that. So I also want to have these two guys have a connection, so there's sort of like a full circle way that everyone can see each other. And they've got a bit closer wood than having to get all the way from that guy. I like that every town has its own little sort of lord. Now this I think is possibly what they were talking about. I don't know how like intuitive it is, but I've now got potato farmers, lumberers, lumberers and potato farmers, but then we've also got essentially like the iron deposits and coal that can come in here too. So currently there's no monopoly on any one thing, as two towns do as everything. We're still waiting for that to kick in. I don't quite know what it says current in progress, estimated cost 178. Like, so is that saying that I need to wait for that money to come back to the keep before we can actually sort of make our move on this? Do we not have a research center? Is that one key part I was missing here? Let's get those two pieces built. There we go. So now that's happening. Pretty key thing. Now the other thing that it did show me, how much money do I actually have? That's that amount there, isn't it? So let's upgrade everyone. Get all 4 of our cities just in a slightly better place. And we now have the lumberjacks and their capacity to get upgraded too. So that's the sawmill. That's our lumberjack. That's our lumberjack. And then these two. Yeah. Just trying to see where we've got our sort of like wood per minute. I think that will mean that I still need to make more. So let's get a guy there. And we'll go that way as well. Now, I know what was sort of saying about spreading everyone too thin. See, there's a lot it doesn't like about going any further than that. Our wood per minute hasn't really upped any much. I don't know what these two white dots sort of mean. We need foresters operating as well. Get our foresters, everyone a forester. You can see that's upping the wood per minute for each of these. Shame. We are only sitting at 51 still. Let's get these guys down here. I mean, I don't want to blow out the market in lumber though. That I don't want to give lumber to the 2 other cities that don't have it. So if we look at lumber on this one, and we can see that the complainant has a sort of proximity to the sawmill. So if we build a second sawmill, It's funny that there's complaints about the proximity to it for these guys, but it's like, but you won't use it. You're going to use that one, right? Max count. So let's go that guy. It's 70 seems a lot higher than I was expecting it to be. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to move into the other towns if we're not even getting there. Hopefully this one will get us all the way to where we need to be. Okay. I mean, that was really almost like tutorial level there. Alright, well, I'd probably say that's my length of time on this one for today. It's good fun. I reckon it's nice and simple enough, and we'll see how it's, at least it's welcoming us into everything one step at a time. So fish should be coming next. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later. See ya.